Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. All right, this is going to be the boss toss himself, MC, who's in very good shape lately in StarCraft 1. You know, one of the best StarCraft 2 players of all time, going up against none other than Flash. We're playing on Citadel, and yeah, I mean, I'm still here for seeing what Flash wants to do in this matchup. MC generally plays a pretty modern style, and I feel like he's reasonably on cutting edge of the metagame, right? Like, he was very heavy Reaver during the heavy Reaver phase. I've definitely seen him go Arbiter more often recently, which has been more popular as a counter to the 5-fact play. Not sure exactly what he'll end up doing here. Of course, he knows who he's against, and he'll want to pick up this victory pretty badly. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for tuning into ArtosisCasts. I hope that you have been enjoying the content. I want to thank everyone for tuning in so much. Recently we've hit, YouTube has those metrics. I think I mentioned this before, where they record things for 28 days and you can compare your statistics. And this is the most viewed 28 days ever in the history of the channel. We've hit 1 million views, which feels awesome. So thank you so much, guys, for the support. Please subscribe to the channel. And I mean, lots of great stuff planned. Like, I'm still definitely excited to explore Flash's ideas, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But every now and then I'm going to be sprinkling in some other games, as you may have seen recently. And that helps to keep kind of on top of what the rest of the world is up to as well. Now, Flash, doing a little setup here, you can actually put a depot here, and those are both micro holes. So that actually is a pretty good SimCity against possible incoming zealots. But he is going for what looks like a factory expansion, which we haven't seen as much from him. He really likes gasless right now. So kind of excited to see how he wants to play that. Is it going to be a mines opener, 2 factory? You know, we've seen more recently a lot of 2 factory starport play. Yeah, I'm not really sure, honestly. I feel like for a little bit there, I knew exactly what was going to happen each game, and I don't feel like that anymore, which is good. Oops, sorry. So yeah, I don't know. It's very exciting to see the different ideas come out in the different games, and I love the randomization as well of adding in factory expansion, right? Because if you're actually keeping track, you should open up with a zealot, like even a forward gateway zealot against Flash, because he goes for gasless expand like 80% plus the time. So it is good to put some of that pressure on sometimes. But anyways, he's going factory expand as well, so sometimes he'll catch that. Of course, MC here, being honorable, not making a zealot, and in fact cancels his range out to make the Nexus very, very quickly. And as Flash gets there, he already knows, oh, that's like a 3-minute to 3-minute 5-second Nexus, so there's no range on the way. And that allows Flash to play this however he wants. In fact, he goes 3rd depot, so I think we're actually going to see pressure. Okay? You can actually pressure with just Marine Vulture, or you could go add-on. Yeah, he's going to go Marine Vulture. Okay, so what you're going to see here is probably 5 Marines, a Vulture, and an SCV. Oh no, he's going to send a lot of SCVs. This is a good push. Flash doesn't really have... I don't think Flash invented this or anything. This has been around for a while. This is actually what I used to use against this, like every game. It's actually really, really strong. If they cancel range... Basically, you need range for the Dragoons to counter Marine Vulture SCV. But when you do this, like, he's going to kill the Nexus. The Nexus, I don't think, is going to live through this. Now, yeah, Flash gets up here actually much quicker. I thought he'd kind of wait for the Vulture to come up and join. But yeah, he actually micros the Dragoons down, so all the probes are coming out to fight too. This is actually becoming a lot closer now. Now, he gets out of the way for the most part here. The Vulture doing a good job picking off some probes, but MC with some amazing drills. You know what? He held this so well so far. Like, he's lost a lot of probes as well, but you actually kind of expect this build to kill the Nexus when you send that many SCVs with it. Okay, he gets rid of all the Marines before they can get in the bunker. So he's down 4 workers, or down 2 workers now after killing a couple more on the way out. But looking at this is not very good for Flash. He does not have a command center. So MC here, I do think, has the advantage after those openers. That's interesting. Like, the thing is, Flash actually very much likes to have builds like this. I want to tell you about something inside of Flash's mindset. I've seen him say this before, where, like, for instance, against Nexus First, there's a really excellent video where Nada and Flash were talking about StarCraft. It's one of my favorite translated videos ever because they're literally the best two players ever in StarCraft. And they're talking about TVP, and Flash is talking about how the reason that factory expansion even exists, he thinks that gasless expansion is simply better, okay? Which you can see from his play. But the reason why this build even exists is to destroy Nexus First. Okay? Now, this wasn't Nexus First, but it was similar. Skipping range and going right into Nexus is a similar thing where, like, your opponent is being as greedy as possible, right? And you want to be able to punish that with a factory expansion. Now, well, we have a lot of micro going on. I still kind of want to explain this point, though. This tank is going to get sniped. Yeah, sends that Dragoon forward. I knew that was going to happen. That's too bad. But yeah, he's trying to push forward now. This is getting a little bit messy. Okay, where was it? Yes. So he was talking about the Nexus First, and he was actually talking about how psychologically he wants to make sure he's going to win with the Nexus bust, where, like, he mentioned numbers, right? Like, if you're busting against a 1 gate after Nexus First, you send 6 SCVs. If you're busting against a 2 gate, you send 8. And if you send more than that, you're actually slightly behind. But one of the things he mentioned is that if the bust doesn't work, the next time he plays the same player, he'll send 10 SCVs. So that when he does it, it feels different from other players. It feels stronger. And a lot of times the Protoss player won't realize what's going on, that he actually kind of went more all in with his push. Right? So what that reminded me of when we saw him do this initial push is he wants people who play against Flash to say, damn, I shouldn't cancel my range, right? He wants to kind of have it be like, if you're greedy against me, I'm going for it. So I think that that's a very interesting aspect of this game. Now, MC with some truly excellent Dragoon micro. Like, really doing a good job holding this back. Of course, Flash keeping his siege tank alive. But Flash is getting into a terrible spot. This looks really good for MC right now, right? He's going 4-gate Observer, which will stop any sort of attack. Flash just gets this up. He's down 8 workers. So he's down 8 workers, no armory, second factory just now coming up. eBay, he's going to have to make a forward turret. Okay, well, now he doesn't have to make the forward turret because he sees the Observer, but he might have to make a couple turrets in his main base to stop Reaver drops, right? Doesn't know if Reaver's on the way. It will be, we can see, with that robotics support bay, but he can't afford scan or anything like that right now. He's down too many workers. So getting back into a position here for his siege mode. Making just like a random vulture in there too. Sometimes it is good to just keep it on 1 factory siege tank production. If you go up to 2 factory siege tank production too fast, it actually slows everything else down immensely. Siege tanks are so expensive. Yeah, the vulture not quite able to get out and scout. He will pull it back and just barely save it. And in fact, going for speed quickly as well. Very popular thing with top Terrans. If you're forced into a weird situation like this, where you have to go siege mode and kind of play defensively. Most of them, like Light definitely does it. We can see it here from Flash. Most of them will go for a quick speed. And that's mostly to get on the map and have some sort of threat, right? You can scout everything out really well and that type of thing. So Armory coming up for Flash. Let's take a look at MC's base again. Has 4 Zealots, so he might actually do a Bulldog here. That's a real possibility. I think he saw the positioning of the siege tanks, maybe. And if you drop your Zealots on there, that's going to be a lot of damage coming out on top of those. Then you rush in with your goons. Oof, it could be gross. So I think that might end up being what we see here. Now, does he unsiege quickly? He has 1 mine here. Oh, no, he has actually the Observer. So here comes the run-in. This is an old strat called the Bulldog. Where you drop Zealots on top of the siege tanks. And he does this, and he's actually eliminated the tanks, or, excuse me, for the most part. So he kills like 4 or 5 tanks there. Not much else. He obviously loses a lot, but that is actually a plus EV trade here for MC. Just reducing siege tank counts is one of the most important things in the game. By the way, I actually put a lot of thought into this recently, because the Bulldog doesn't really exist anymore. It's a very old build where people just go range goons, a lot of them, 4 Zealots and a shuttle and drop those on top of the siege tanks and attack. The reason that actually went away is because people don't siege all their tanks anymore. They make a position that's really hard to break and have 1 to 2 tank siege and everything else unsieged. So yeah, that's why it doesn't work anymore, but Flash had almost everything sieged, so it kind of worked there for him. Ooh, a good bust in here once again from a MC. Very good surround on these SCVs. Like, he's doing a really good... This is not efficient for MC at all. This is actually a good moment for Flash. He's killing, like, a ton of Dragoons basically for free. They get very, very few kills here. He is down 10 workers, but suddenly we're going to have Flash on 6 factories. He's got speed, he's got mines, he's got siege mode. I didn't actually notice if he got Goliath range, but I don't think he did. And in the meantime, MC just traded all of his goons. He's on 4 gates. So this just turned into a game where, even though it still looks like MC's ahead, right? Like, he's got his 3rd Nexus coming up and everything, and he's reduced the siege chain count a bunch of times, there might be something Flash can wiggle around with here, because he's playing against just 4 gates. Well, and the Robo too, of course, but, you know, that's not that much. He might be able to get out and actually do a little bit of punishing. I think it would have been much better if MC had saved those goons as they got surrounded, if he just runs away. If you have 6 more goons here, I'm calling the game already. All right, now here comes the double Reavers in the shuttle. Ugh, not sure if that was the best drop location right there. Gets out a couple Scarabs, takes a ton of damage onto this shuttle, and in fact, kind of wastes some units running forward there as well. So good defense here from Flash. That definitely was no good from MC, trying to get some more damage, maybe overdoing it slightly. And he's going to need to add gates. If I'm MC here, 4 gates. Get up to 8 gate, macro super heavy, and just don't let him come out with a strong push. I don't know if he can keep diving in to reduce siege chain counts, though. It feels like that's not paying off as it once was. Right, Flash dodges those cannon shots there. Another speed shuttle comes out. Bunch of gates. Oh, yeah, it's 5. Okay. Always got to outdo me. I said 4. He wants that 9 gate, not the 8 gate. Is far too few, Artosis, you idiot. But yeah, gonna just macro heavily on his gateway units with Robo Tech, right? Get some observers out. Make sure he has multiple speed shuttles. He's trying to reduce these siege chain counts still. You're not going to get any kills with this many vultures. Maybe a little bit of damage. Ooh, excellent Scarab. Excellent. That's the type of move you want here. Gonna unsiege a little bit here so that the splash damage doesn't get pulled. Goliath's coming out now. He must have Goliath range. He would have started it by now. Oh, no, he doesn't have it. Okay. Yeah, just maybe a bit too expensive this game for him because it's kind of a low econ tough game. But yeah, he does have those 6 factories. He's actually whittling down the army pretty darn well. Don't forget, this is a 15 worker advantage. So yeah, he is still up. He is still up 35 army supply. That's pretty scary. He has a Citadel as well. He didn't start Zealot legs. Huh. You definitely need Zealot legs here. Yeah, he just starts them. That's actually late. Like, he did have the Citadel for a bit, so I think he was just microing too much over here. And this gives Flash his last opportunity. He's going to push through the easy area, and these are slow Zealots. Slow Zealots against mass mech is so awful. Lots of games have been won where Protoss forgot Zealot legs, right? Like, it's like forgetting siege mode. You're like, oh, I needed siege mode to hold that. Oh, I needed Zealot legs to hold that. You know? Same type of idea. Just an incredibly important upgrade. The unit is kind of worthless without it after a certain moment in the game. Now, still pushing forward. Zealot leg's about halfway done. If he can force MC to actually engage, he's going to wipe the Zealots. Okay, Flash knows that they're slow. He doesn't know how long they're slow for. He may try to speed up the push a bit. Reaver coming out in front is very good. Little dive into the main base here. This is problematic. Yeah, he's going to get a very good drop here. In the meantime, we have another engage coming up here. Look at this. He's feeding the Zealots in. Like, he aggroed them, and MC's microing down here. Lots of micro on both sides. But yeah, I think Flash's attention being over here is correct. He's going to take a ton of damage here no matter what he does. But he just needs to kill this basically before Zealot Legs. So Zealot Legs finishes, And the Zealots die pretty quickly, but it seems like it's just Flash doesn't have enough. All of his reinforcements were not able to come over because they were fighting against the Reaver drop. And so MC is going to be able to clean this one up. But this is actually, I saw some people talking about how there's a lot of Flash losses here. And like, oh, Flash is washed or something. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's very evident, especially in this game, that Flash is testing out very specific things, right? The SCV Marine Vulture Rush that he did here, like I said, I used to do that every game against people who canceled range. People have gotten better at holding it, but I think he's looking for these punishes. He doesn't want people playing greedy against him like MC did this game, right? And MC did that and was able to hold the rush and got ahead, and he won this game. But as Flash figures out exactly what he needs to do in these situations, he'll start to get that kind of fear factor where people are like, yeah, Flash punishes that every time, don't do that, right? It's smart because, I mean, he's the most watched player in the world. So I think that this game really kind of triple underlines that. He lost this game, it doesn't matter. This game is him working towards a certain idea about his own play. And anyways, so I think that this was a very good one, and I'm actually excited to see him either somehow perfect that rush that used to be more popular that we don't see as much anymore, or is he going to change it into something else? There are other ways that you can try to punish people who skip their or cancel a range upgrade in the Nexus. Okay, I know that's all very technical. Thank you for staying around if you did, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.